Yo, what is good, YouTube? We are back with another banger, as y'all can tell. I'm trying to get back consistent for y'all. We are on the road to 500 subs. So if y'all enjoy this video and y'all like this video, make sure y'all drop down a sub, man, if y'all want to see any more videos like this. With that being said, let's get right into the video. It's early in the morning. We're trying to get to it. I ain't gonna lie, I think we got a banger video off the rip for today's video. To start it off, we got inside Mr. Beast winner drug scandal. I ain't gonna lie, I seen the title, instantly was like, bro, reaction. I think this video got uploaded like maybe a day ago, if not today. We gonna hop on it. Crazy title, probably finna be a crazy vid. I didn't hear shit about, I didn't see a clip about this on TikTok. I didn't see nothing about this. I didn't even, beyond me to think, I don't know, bro. We finna see. Enough yapping. Let's get right into the video and see how this nigga won a Mr. Beast contest and try to be a drug lord. Let's see.
8 months after winning a $2.4 million jet on a Mr. Beast challenge.
That's my thing, bro. If I win 2.4 million, bro, I don't know, bro. I feel like I'm at the point where I'm in my life, if I get a big ass win like that, fuck am I gonna throw it away for, bro? I don't know, bro. Like, what am I gonna throw it away for? 2.4 mil, and you said, fuck, bro. I just need a little bit more. I just need a little bit more. 2.4 million, you wasn't happy with that shit. You just said, I just need a little bit more. And now we're watching a whole ass video about this shit. Telling you, bro. Greed. Greed. They talk about that shit in the Bible, bro.
Person arrested in a $3.6 million drug case. He has no idea.
Nigga, he wanted an extra meal. He wanted to try to run up an extra meal. And that shit got you literally sitting in jail. You wanted to run up the extra meal for some bullshit ass. That's crazy.
It's coming. It's Saturday morning at a private airport.
Could've just chilled with your 2.6 and just walked away. Been chilling for the rest of your life. Nigga could have got into stocks. Nigga could have tried to invest in something. Nigga could have tried to set up some other shit. Try to get a property. So much other ways to make money. This nigga said, fuck, I just got 2.6 mil. I'm finna Pablo Escobar this bitch up. Yeah. Nigga, what? Nigga said, I just got 2.6 mil. I'm finna Pablo Escobar this bitch up, nigga. Yeah. Gotta think smarter, cuz. Gotta think smarter, man.
Single problem. Everyone got off and went into the city. It was a completely normal night.
What happened?
Until
my bad.
At a private airport outside Asunción, Paraguay. The plane he co-piloted in landed the night before without a single problem. Everyone got off and went into the city. It was a completely normal night until one passenger walked back into the terminal the next morning to grab a bag someone left behind on that plane. He's allowed access to the plane, however, while heading back to exit the terminal, an officer stops him and asks him to open it. He hesitates and comes up with an excuse mentioning it's just musical instruments.
Oh shit.
The officer doesn't buy it. He unzips the bag, and by the end of that day, this airport becomes the center of an international narcotics investigation.
Oh shit.
With Mr. Beast's winner, Jabari Brown's name attached to it. However, to actually understand what's inside that bag and why a Mr. Beast contest winner ends up handcuffed over it, we have to rewind not back to the aircraft, but to the reason why anyone in Paraguay knew their names at all.
Let's get into the video. I ain't gonna lie, this gonna be a crazy one. Grab your snacks, grab your whatever. This gonna be a crazy one. Let's get into it. This gonna be a good one. Wow, I didn't hear, bro. That's so surprising. I didn't hear shit about this.
Because of the free ad block extension from Capital One.
I be fucking with the Mr. Beast videos, bro.
In late 2025, a young man, Jabari Brown, who goes by the name Captain Treasy online, got a random phone call. The person on the other end asked him if he was free for an 11-day window. They wouldn't mention what for. Brown didn't even check his calendar and just said yes. He had no idea he'd just signed up to be a part of a Mr. Beast YouTube challenge until he showed up and found it was 100 pilots fight for a private jet challenge. A brutal elimination gauntlet against 99 other aviators. Tasks like towing planes by ropes and skydiving over the city of Riyadh were the actual hurdles the competitors had to cross to get closer to a winning chance. At one point, they had to hold on to the moving aircraft in the middle of the
I think I remember
Riyadh
seeing this
freeway.
video. I don't know if I reacted to this video or if I seen a reaction to this. I think I either reacted to this one or I watched Flight react to this one.
For
But
19
I remember watching this
hours
video.
straight, just to avoid elimination.
I don't know why I don't remember bro
And
winning
Jabari
though.
Brown was the youngest competitor in the field at just 20 years old. He
I remember
completed
him
all
being
the
in like top
challenges,
5, top
and
10
he
though, I
actually
think, some shit
won.
like that.
It was the kind of win
No
that was
boom.
supposed to change a life for the better. Nobody in that celebration, not
2.4
Brown,
mil.
not Mr. Beast, or any participant had any reason to think that this exact win was going to be the reason his name would end up in a very different kind of headline just 8 months later.
Damn,
prize
8
was
months.
a Hawker.
Like, damn, you ain't even waste no time, nigga. You just got straight up to it. Nigga said 2.4 mil. Hey, let's start making some money. Ching, cha, ching, cha, ching. Like, damn, ain't wasted no 6 months. Ain't wasted no time.
Worth roughly $2.4 million.
Nigga said, let's get to it.
Overnight, a 20-year-old pilot became an internet millionaire in the eyes of everyone watching. But there was a problem. Even though he had won a Mr. Beast private jet, maintaining such an aircraft with hangar fees, fuel, and massive insurance was a financial nightmare. Moreover, he could not legally fly for any major airliner yet to cover for his $2.4 million jet.
Damn.
U.S. aviation laws requires pilots to be at least 21 before they can fly commercially, and Brown was still 20.
Damn.
So while the
You couldn't have held it down for 1 year though, fam. You couldn't have held it down for 1 year though, bruh. You couldn't have went and got you could have figured it out 1 year and you would have, bruh. He said, nah, fuck it, we gonna go be a drug
that
lord.
congratulated Brown on the epic win and moved on. Brown went back to what he had always done, picking up freelance co-pilot work and working on his training to build flight hours. But he had no idea the same training and gig would put him in the cockpit of a flight he should have never accepted. And one of those jobs put him on a Bombardier jet in Florida.
Wait, no way.
The same training and gig would put him in the cockpit of a flight he should have never accepted.
No way.
And one of those jobs put him on a Bombardier jet in Florida in late May of 2026. A completely different aircraft from the one he had won. A detail that matters more than it sounds like it should, because people on social media ran with comments and photos of a completely wrong jet, adding more confusion to this case. And that fateful flight was the one where it all began.
Damn.
Friday, May 29th, 2026.
Oh, it's
A
gonna be
Bombardier
crazy.
jet had already been in the air for days, flying routine all over the United States. Mr.
Okay.
Brown had an earlier leg from California to Fort Pierce, Florida, as a co-pilot under a different captain. The jet, with registration November 116 Hotel Lima, was scheduled to fly out to a Latin American country, Paraguay. However, the pilot in command that flew from California to Florida with Jabari Brown had a scheduling conflict for the Paraguay run, so a substitute captain was brought in, Keith Seelatz, a contract pilot who interestingly had also trained Brown about a year earlier on how to fly different jets. On paper, it looked routine. Seelatz knew the aircraft's owner through a pilot's Facebook group, and the plane had reportedly been leased out for this trip. 3 passengers were waiting at Fort Pierce: Troy Vasquez, David Wise, and a woman named Marisol Rivas. But one detail stood out to Seelatz even before they took off. The 3 of them were checking in for what was supposed to be a 4-day trip with just a single shared bag and a couple of backpacks between them. They departed on the morning of May 29th from Fort Pierce and landed in Panama for refueling, took off again, and landed at Silvio Pettirossi International Airport in Asuncion around 9 p.m. Nothing unusual happens. The plane taxis in, everyone clears customs, and heads into Asuncion for the night. The next morning, one of the passengers comes back for a bag left on that plane, and as he
Oh shit.
heads back to exit the airport, he's intercepted by a customs officer for a quick search. After the musical instruments and a tiny bag excuse fails, things move fast. Paraguay's National Anti-Drug Secretariat, CNAD, is brought in, and they don't stop at the one bag.
Oh shit.
Too much to do.
Oh shit.
Let Gemini and Chrome handle it.
This shit's getting deep. This shit's getting
They
deep.
search the whole aircraft. Upon CNAD's detailed search, they discovered 261.6 kilos.
Damn! Damn!
Detailed search, they discovered 261.6 kilos, roughly 577
Of
pounds
za.
of high THC cannabis, valued at over $3.6 million.
Wow.
The authorities conclude the drug shipment must have been trafficked from Florida and must be headed to Brazil from Paraguay due to its high demand in the neighboring country. All 3 passengers are arrested on the spot. The woman Marisol Rivas and 2 men, Troy Anthony Vasquez and David Thomas Wise, all American citizens, all charged by Paraguayan prosecutors with international drug trafficking. That leaves 2 people from that cockpit unaccounted for. One of them is
Nigger.
about to become the internet's biggest headline, and the other is nowhere to be found.
Oh shit. Oh shit, I might have just been
The
yapping.
drugs are found.
I might have just been yapping. He might have not had shit to do with this. What y'all think? What y'all think? I don't know. It says inside Mr. Beast winter drug scandal. I don't know. I think he got.
By the authorities,
I don't know.
the captain of the flight,
We finna see.
Sealats, after successfully landing the plane, joins the passenger for dinner in the city. Before the drugs
shit.
are found by the authorities, the captain of the flight, Keith Sealats, after successfully landing the plane, joins the passenger for dinner in the city.
Oh shit.
Then instead of staying and checking in a hotel like others, Sealats heads back to the airport, takes a layover flight back to the United States the same night, before anyone would find that the jet was filled with millions of dollars worth of illicit substances.
Oh damn.
The next morning, as Sealats lands in Miami, his phone lights up. A text from Jabari Brown mentioning that he has been arrested along with the passengers of yesterday's flight for trafficking millions of dollars worth of drugs into the country.
I've been arrested for drug trafficking. They found drugs we cooked. What the fuck is going on, man? Check the news.
And requests him
Oh
to check the
shit.
news. This brings Sealats under heavy suspicion because as CNAD was still searching and seizing the aircraft, they found that the captain of the flight had already fled the country before the drug bust, making him the most wanted captain for the Paraguayan authorities.
Nigga.
The zoomed Sealats as the owner of the Bombardier who trafficked drugs into the country and fled. By the time
How you
this
gonna be
video
the
is
owner?
published,
How you gonna be the owner of the plane and then leave?
trafficked drugs into the country and fled. By the time
God, how
this
you gonna be
video
the
is
owner of the
published,
plane?
new details may emerge. Sealats
Oh,
is
shit.
still allegedly wanted by the authorities in the country and also puts him
This is
strongly
still
in the
going on,
crosshair
wow.
because of some of the historical details that surfaced during the drug bust. Sealats, a 47-year-old pilot from Estonia, was a co-founder of U.S. micro-mobility startup Bolt Mobility. However, due to failed operations, the company folded in 2022, and Sealats made a major career pivot to fly jets for private clients. This became a major detail for internet speculations that to cover for his losses from the previous failed ventures, Sealats must be a part of the international drug trafficking, taking Mr. Beast's jet winner along for the wild ride. And when it came down to Jabari Brown's arrest, this is how he was captured.
Oh,
After
God.
the arrest of 3 passengers, the CNAD arrived at his hotel on May 30th, 2026, and he was brought in for further interrogation. Brown mentioned that he can't get hired as a full-time airline pilot yet because U.S. law requires pilots to be at least 21, which is part of why he was doing charter and co-pilot gigs like this Paraguay flight. He submitted all the flight logs and other paperwork for the flight and mentioned he had no clue of the passengers, the luggage, or its contents. He was just hired to fly the aircraft just like his other routine flights. For him, it was nothing unusual. The authorities, after hearing Jabari's statements and going through his paperwork, thought he might be innocent. However, for the authorities, some pieces were still not adding up. Who hired the aircraft? Who had put the drugs on that plane? and why Sealats immediately left the country after the dinner. After digging deeper into the investigation, this is what they found. The aircraft itself had a paper trail. Investigators traced ownership to a man named Dennis Muturdi, who, according to Sealats, had been dry leasing out a small fleet of Bombardier business jets, meaning renters get just the aircraft but bring their own crew. Somewhere down that chain, the plane ended up in the hands of the Paraguay-bound group. And here is where the story becomes more interesting depending on who you ask. Paraguayan investigators initially identified passenger Troy Vasquez as the one who arranged the charter. But Sealats, the captain who left the country immediately, tell a different version. He mentioned that it was David Wise and not Troy Vasquez who leased the plane roughly a month earlier and who told him the group was flying a musician down for a concert. Neither account has been fully reconciled. It's possible.
Oh shit, we got some.
What's clear
We got
is that
some.
somebody went to
We got some
real
shit going
lengths
down
to make this flight look like just another normal charter booking. And one important piece of the puzzle still sticks out like a sore thumb. The authorities speculated that the drug seized at the airport was owned by Sealats. He knew what he was doing and fled the country before the heat caught up to him. Because according to an Estonian outlet, Sealats did own a Bombardier jet in Miami and separately flew other people's aircraft as a contract pilot as well. But are the two jets, the one owned by Sealats and the one that Mr. Beast's winner flew to Paraguay, the same or different, is still under active investigation. Then there is the luggage. 3 passengers, a 4-day trip, and by Sealats' account, they showed up with exactly 1 shared bag and a couple of backpacks between them. Not the kind of thing that raises alarms on its own. It's the same bag that less than 24 hours later, someone would come back for and lie about. The pilots also mentioned that the passengers took an unusually long time to leave the plane after landing and paid extra $1,500 for a private hangar he considered unnecessary for a small group with just 1 bag. Moreover, they learned that the passengers had hired a crew to do overnight work on the aircraft and that, in Sealats' account, the drugs were hidden in the aircraft's wall structures or beneath the floor, making the aircraft appear completely normal, keeping even the pilots clueless that they were inadvertently flying millions of dollars worth of drugs under a secret international drug trafficking operation. Because there is a real possibility that during the maintenance work hired by the group, someone could have easily stashed a couple of kilos in the wheel wells or maybe avionics bay without pilots' knowledge, could have landed in the destination country, would have waited a few days with the aircraft parked at the hangar, and would have easily removed the package with an insider involved at the airport without raising a single red flag. But if the pilots were innocent, especially Sealats, why did he leave the country immediately?
That's some authorities.
The answer is simple. Keith Sealats had already pre-booked a red-eye flight back to Miami the same night they landed in Paraguay. He already had another flying contract for upcoming weekend, so he had to be back in the United States by the time. However, just because he already had a return flight pre-booked even before they left Florida does not prove his innocence and could be a part of a premeditated alibi.
He could have just set that little flight up or whatever.
Trail, just to be safe. And for the 3 passengers, they still remain in pre-trial detention in Paraguay, formally charged with international drug trafficking and unauthorized possession of narcotic substances. And as far as Jabari Brown is concerned, the authorities concluded that he was completely innocent and had no connection to the trafficking operation, and he was released from custody. As of now, Sealats is not charged with any crime and is just in the circle of major suspicion just because of his unfortunate timing of leaving the country right before the drug bust. This is still an ongoing case, a few £100 and a few $1 million. But when you zoom out, it barely registers as a blip in the world of international drug trafficking. Because if you think $3.6 million is a big number, then there is a man who ran an operation so large it makes this entire
the man who made El Chapo look poor. Fuck. Hey man, that was a good video, crazy video. Like I said, I did not know that happened. Did not know that was what went down or anything like that. But with that being said, I guess we just got some. I guess we just got some kind of clickbait, but kind of not clickbait, because he was definitely involved, and most definitely, but he'd have nothing to do with the drug things. So we think. Looking at us. I'm just joking. Hopefully, bro, ain't having nothing to do with that. Hopefully, he was staying out the way. Nigga, you just want 2.6 million. Nigga, hold it down for a year. You gonna be getting those flights, nigga. You gonna be, you feel me? Hold it down for a year. Crazy ass video though. I can't lie. I'm gonna have to look that shit up on TikTok and find out the whole all the details and find out who the real people are and everything like that. Cause, whoa, nigga, they bought a whole hangar to have a night crew come up in that bitch and. Okay. Shit, y'all got it. Like, damn. Anyways, man, with that being said, if y'all enjoyed this video like I did, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all for all the support y'all been showing on the road to 500 subs. After we hit 500, you know I'm gonna have to turn it up a notch. But we got some more videos to knock out. So with that being said, I'm gonna see you on the next one. Whenever I see y'all, peace.